Hello and welcome to the Virtual College Exploration. This is for Ohio students. We're so glad you're here today. My name is Melissa and I'm simply facilitating for Christopher. He is representing Moody Bible Institute. We're super excited to learn about his school and all that it has to offer today. You may notice down at the bottom, you don't have a chat feature. You don't have the ability to raise your hand, but you do have a button that says Q&A. That's where you can ask questions. These will go privately to Chris and he will answer those as best as he is able. If you were wondering if your camera or your microphone are on, they are off, so no worries about that. We're just hoping to get you the information you need. If you're interested in other sessions and you didn't already get to check out the whole schedule, go ahead and search OACAC.org and you'll be able to see many other sessions on there. And final note, the recording will be available in about a week at oacac.org. So if there's something you missed or you want to reference back or share with a friend, go ahead and visit the website for that. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Chris.
Hi, thank you so much, Melissa, for the introduction. First of all, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Chris Ozentowski. I am the admissions counselor. I'm an admissions counselor here at Moody Bible Institute. And I get to serve all over the U.S., but specifically all Ohio students are students that I get to work with. I absolutely love my time in Ohio. I have some incredible memories at, whether I'm visiting Cleveland, getting coffee in Akron, or eating fried chicken in Cincinnati. I love the state. I've been to some incredible shows in Columbus, so I love Ohio. Ohio's an incredible place. I grew up in Michigan, and actually that's where I am broadcasting from right now. So if you are an Ohio State fan, all I have to say is go blue, and I'm so sorry. So I want to introduce you to Moody Bible Institute. Actually, my virtual background right here is a picture of one of our buildings. I'll get out of the way so you can see it a little bit. I just want to walk through kind of a few things about us, but I'm going to walk through, just so you know where we're going, I'm going to walk through who we are, what we are, and where we are. Just so you know who, what, where. It's nice, easy to remember. Hopefully we can give you some information. And yeah, if you're watching live, feel free to pop some questions up and I'll try to answer them organically, or I'll answer them all kind of at the end if they don't get answered throughout the time. So here we go. I want to talk first again about who we are. Who is Moody Bible Institute? In our own words, we are Christians who want to have a kingdom impact through our vocations. Continuing in the legacy of our founder, Dwight Lyman Moody, we are becoming biblically trained and theologically equipped to spread the gospel in every corner of the world. And actually, since our founding, Moody has continued to grow and expand. We now have 3 schools under the Moody Education umbrella. We have Moody Aviation, that is in Spokane, Washington. This is a campus wholly designated for missionary aviation technology. This campus has around 100 students. We have our Moody Theological Seminary, as our graduate school. We have campuses in Chicago, Illinois, and Plymouth, Michigan, just right outside of Detroit. We have graduate degrees that can be completed fully online. Our whole graduate program between online, Plymouth, and Chicago has roughly about 750 students. But Moody Bible Institute is primarily an undergraduate school. So our residential campus downtown Chicago has about 1,600 students. And then we have undergraduate degrees that can be done fully online. And there's approximately 600 or so students utilizing this options, with, of course, these numbers changing just because of COVID and, different things, different circumstances that we've run into. Regardless of what school or campus you visit or attend, we want to be sure that our mission is at the heart of it. Our mission at the heart of Moody is to train men and women to spread the gospel through their vocation and through their ministry. And I'm going to show just a short video to kind of talk a little bit about our school and actually introduce our president to you as well. So I'm going to make the transition hopefully very seamlessly. Let's see. We love technology, especially when it works on the first try for us. All right. just gonna, oh, almost there. And okay, I think we have got it. We're good to go? Okay. Strength is oh. Okay, I was so close. I'm so sorry. We're gonna get the computer audio working. Here we go. This should be it.
Our strength is equipping, our passion, the gospel. So we seek to train biblically grounded, missionally focused change agents for this world. So you can expect to be in the heart of a world-class city, Chicago. Every classroom, whether it's communications, whether it's counseling, whatever it is, it has a biblical base to it. Our goal is not just to teach the Bible, but to integrate biblical view into everything that we teach.
I'm so passionate about Moody because here we get to educate students biblically so that they're sound. We get to train them practically and then give them the opportunity, a hands-on experience in the city of Chicago to put what they've learned in the classroom into practice. And all of this is to prepare students to become powerful and effective leaders wherever the Lord takes them.
I'm so grateful for this place because this is where my faith has become more alive. And my reading of the scripture has then translated into practical living out of the gospel and what it means to me and what it means to those who are attracted to it. I think this place is so rich in the relationships that we have the opportunity to pursue with friends, with faculty, with people on our floors. And there's a genuine nature to that that really can't be found elsewhere.
All right. So that gives us just like a short overview of kind of what Moody is and what Moody is about. We, like I said, we're in, a big part of who we are is just training students for ministry in whatever capacity that looks like. I'm going to talk a little bit now, transitioning from who we are to kind of what we are. We are a 4-year fully accredited Bible school with donor-sponsored tuition that trains people to know and love God in their workplace, home, and church. Now, since we are a Bible college and not a liberal arts school, we have what's called, what we like to call a Bible core curriculum. This means that every student that's admitted to one of Moody's Bachelor of Arts programs will automatically receive the equivalent of a double major in Bible and theology. And yes, that does mean we because we are fully accredited, we are still requiring students to have the general education courses alongside of the Bible and theology and their counseling. So how that their major that they choose. So how that breaks down is it looks like, practically speaking, you're going to have about 40 credits of general education courses. These are your English, these are your math, these are science, writing, languages, etc. And you're going to have about 40 credits automatically in every program of Bible and theology courses. These are going to be courses like Old and New Testament survey, like hermeneutics, which is a course that helps you to kind of learn how to read and study and properly interpret scripture. You're going to take classes like apologetics and how to defend your faith, how to talk about and share your faith. You'll be taking systematic theology. You'll get a rich kind of overview of just the Bible and historical theology and different things like that. From there, the final 50 credits that you have will be completed in whatever major you choose. So whether that's youth ministry, whether that's pre-counseling, whether that's communication, intercultural studies, there are a ton of different options that you can have. And though a standard bachelor's degree is typically around 120 credits, our programs are usually around 128 credits or more. And this just helps us to really equip you, to really give you the the tools, the classes, the training, the knowledge to go out and work in whatever in whatever field God has called you in, whether He's called you to run a restaurant or work in a church. We want to equip you for that. So our heart is that every student would graduate from Moody fully equipped for ministry with a solid understand of how to think Christianly. And I say that, I don't think Christianly is actually a word, but to think like a Christian, how to study the Bible faithfully and how to teach what you've learned well. So I want to highlight something that I kind of blew past a little bit when I was talking about what we are. We're a 4-year fully accredited Bible college with donor-sponsored tuition. So donor-sponsored tuition, a lot of people hear that and are kind of confused by that. All of our schools, at Moody are committed to making and providing an affordable education to students so that they can enter into full-time ministry. One thing to know about full-time ministry is that part of the heart of like Moody is understanding that a lot of full-time ministry positions, you aren't going into that ministry position to make a ton of money or to own a bunch of things and fill up. A lot of the heart of ministry is to say, how can I most effectively equip and serve God, right? And that will look a lot of different ways. That's going to look totally different depending kind of on who and where you end up serving, what your gifts are. So what Moody does to make you more able to go into your ministry, whatever field God has called you into, we subsidize a lot of our education, but specifically with the Chicago undergraduate campus, there's a unique opportunity in that the tuition for every single student to our undergrad Chicago campus through a combination of Pell Grants and our generous donors is completely covered. You won't pay if you come and you study full-time at Moody's undergrad campus, you won't pay any tuition. That will be whatever isn't covered by the Pell Grant. Donors every single year will gather money and pay for. And that is just unheard of. The fact that I am a Moody alum. I graduated in 2019. I didn't pay a cent of tuition my entire time at Moody in undergrad. And our tuition ranges from, depending on the student, about $12,000 a year. So automatically there's no additional thing you have to apply for. All you have to do is fill out your FAFSA and get accepted, and your tuition is paid for. This is unheard of. I cannot overstate how crazy this is. This makes school incredibly affordable. I like to give my personal story just of kind of how I went, into school. I came in with no money saved up, and I couldn't get any help from my parents. And I graduated in 2019, so in May of 2019, a little over a year ago, and I'm going to pay back what I owe in about 6 months from now. So two years from graduating with no help from my parents and no money saved up, and I'm going to be debt free. That is unheard of in higher education. And a lot of that is due to Moody's commitment to making school affordable and the donors that generously give every single year to make sure that our students can graduate and can graduate with little or no debt. That still does leave costs. School isn't free, unfortunately, but for over 130 years, no student in our undergrad Chicago campus has had to pay tuition. That is just a testimony to God's faithfulness, to the generosity of people that know and love the ministry of Moody. The only thing that Moody students are responsible to pay for on campus, on the undergrad Chicago campus, is room, board, and fees, which are at an estimated about $13,000 a year for an academic year. That's 2 semesters. And this estimate includes everything except for health insurance. So, when you break down where you're starting from, about $13,000 a year, that's going to help keep costs very low, and that's including obviously all of your living expenses. That's assuming you're living on the campus. That's giving you as many meals as you need during the week. And again, because this is such a unique approach to how to pay for college, this looks a lot different than a lot of other schools. So I'm sure, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'd love to kind of clear up, because this is just the overview. This looks different for our seminary campus. This looks different for our online school. But the way that Moody subsidizes our, all of our schools across the board because of our generous donors, makes studying at Moody so much more affordable, and helps us to be able to really send our students into the world with the ability to minister and to do incredible things without having to accrue absorbent amounts of debt. Finally, so I've talked about who we are. I've talked about what we are. I want to talk about where we are. So we are an urban campus in the diverse and bustling heart of the city of Chicago, learning to better love and serve our neighbors as ourselves. So, we believe that our school's location offers a unique opportunity to study at. This is not a normal place to study. This is a very different experience than you're going to get from almost any campus in the United States. There aren't a lot of truly urban campuses, but there aren't a lot of urban campuses in world-class cities like Chicago. Chicago is the third largest city in the U.S. with about 3 million people inside of the city limits. And then the greater Chicagoland area, depending on where you draw the lines, is anywhere from 12 to 15 million. A lot of people within this area. Chicago, it's an incredibly international city with people from all around the world, and this allows our students access to hundreds of different ministries and hundreds of different people groups. The way Chicago is broken down, it's very much a neighborhood by neighborhood city. Where we are located is, it's called the Near North neighborhood, just north of the Loop, which is the huge booming business district in Chicago. We're just north of that, and we have access to trains everywhere that can get us, that can take you north to where I live in Uptown, which is one of the most diverse zip codes in the United States, where I can walk on one street and I can go to a third wave coffee shop, an Ethiopian restaurant, and an incredible Italian pizza joint, and a vegan Jewish deli. There's incredible diversity, just in that neighborhood. You could go south on the Red Line. You could go to Chinatown and experience authentic Chinese food and culture. There, you could go to the West Loop and have some of the most incredible Michelin star restaurants. Chicago is just absolutely incredible. Instead of just talking your ear off about it, I'm just going to show you our Chicago campus, story, or I guess kind of our Chicago campus tour. This is a really cool video we made a few years ago, and this explains some of the neighborhoods even better than I could. So I'm going to share my screen again, and it's going to go better than the first time. I believe with all of my heart that it will. We're going to share screen. Here we go. And let's see, we've got sharing computer sound, and perfect. Oh, I thought I had. Okay, here we go. This should do it. Enter. There we go.
Moody Bible Institute is located in downtown Chicago, Illinois. When first arriving at Moody's campus, you'll notice the clock tower and buildings surrounding a large active plaza. Walking into the Alumni Student Center, you'll find the Commons. Here you can purchase food and snacks and meet with professors or friends. The second floor, often called ASC 2, contains Joe's Coffee Shop, a popular place to study or socialize. ASC 2 also holds a large common room used for studying and is often used for special events. Down the hall is the fireplace room, which students can use as a quiet study room. ASC 2 also contains the game room, with pool, ping pong tables, and an assortment of board games that can be checked out. Next to the Alumni Student Center is Doane Memorial Hall. The majority of Doane is home to the music department, classrooms, practice rooms, and rehearsal spaces for musicians and vocalists. Exiting Doane, you will enter Torrey Gray Auditorium, which hosts chapels and larger special events and concerts. Across the walkway is Sweeting Center. When walking into Sweeting, you'll notice the Information Technology Services, also known as ITS, where students can work on various media projects. Crossing the hall is Crowell Library, one of the largest theological libraries in the region. Students can study under expansive skylights or use the Academic Learning Center, where students can receive tutoring assistance with writing projects. Upstairs on floors 2 and 3 are many classrooms, which you are welcome to sit in on when visiting campus. Sweeting 4 is home to Moody Campus Radio, as well as a mixed media lab and studio for communication students. Close by is the Solheim Center, our gymnasium and sports facility located at the northwest side of campus. Students enjoy intramural sports along with watching the Moody Archers compete. It contains 3 full-size collegiate basketball and volleyball courts, a running track around the upper perimeter of the gym, 4 racquetball courts, a full-size auxiliary gym, weight room, aerobic room, and swimming pool. Across the street from Solheim is Jenkins Apartments, which is available to married students, graduate students, and Moody undergraduate seniors. Heading back towards the center of campus, you'll notice a large lawn for hanging out, which includes great views of the skyline. Entering towards the plaza from LaSalle Boulevard is the infamous Moody Arch, which is a common meeting place and connection between buildings. Entering Smith Hall, you'll find the Moody Museum, which contains historical documents and artifacts of D.L. Moody, Emma Dreyer, and others who began the school. Across the hall, you'll find a merchandise shop containing Moody gear. Next to Moody gear is the Moody Alumni Association, which serves to create relationships based on shared Moody experiences and serve ministries around the world of Moody alum. The top floors of Smith is a female residence hall for undergraduate students. Below ground, you will find hallways called the tunnels. This will lead you to the student dining room. Students often sit with their floors and sister floors when dining, which adds to the Brosis floor community. Close by is the Alumni Auditorium, which hosts larger lectures and special events, as well as chapel services for Moody Theological Seminary. Crossing back through the arch is Crowell Hall. Crowell Hall is not an academic building, yet it contains many of the administrative offices, Moody Radio, and the President's Office, as well as home to Moody Distance Learning. Houghton Hall is one of our female residence halls. It has a co-ed study and lounge and has 10 floors with north and west wings. Culbertson Hall is a men's residence hall, which includes a large co-ed lounge for studying and hanging out, a prayer chapel, and a public television viewing area. On the second floor of Culbertson is Moody Central, where students can find assistance with their practical Christian ministry, student finances, academic records, career development, residence life, and other questions. Next to Culbertson Hall is Fitzwater. Upon entering Fitzwater, you can find a lounge and Moody Theological Seminary offices and study rooms. Fitzwater also holds many undergraduate and graduate classes. I hope you enjoyed this video tour. Please visit Moody Bible Institute's website to schedule a campus visit.
All right, so that gave us a little bit more information kind of on what Moody's campus looks like. Moody does have a very unique campus, and just like the overall feel of it is a place that I think gives us the ability to kind of see and experience Moody in a very in a very different way. It's very connected, as you saw. As you saw in the video, you can kind of look out and see a lot of the a lot of what Moody has to offer, just because we are so integrated into the city. You can see the skyline kind of from where we were. The nice part about, one thing I always tell students is that we can't just not only see the skyline, we're also part of the skyline. And in that, maybe just kind of semantics and a little, okay, yeah, you're part of the skyline, that's fun, that's great, whatever. But what's so unique about being part of the skyline is we are part of the city. We are not in the suburbs. We are not, disconnected. We very much are part of the city, and that is like the whole heart behind Moody. Like I said, when I was talking about who we are, we were founded, Moody Bible Institute isn't just Moody because of the emotion, or we're not moody or angsty. We were founded by a man called D.L. Moody, who was an evangelist who cared for and loved the city of Chicago. He dedicated his life, and his mission was just winning people for Christ, was finding people that were lost and ministering to them in a way that other people couldn't. And he saw a need in Chicago, and that's where he wanted to have his school. He wanted to have his school specifically downtown. And so, we are surrounded by incredible buildings and incredible places, incredible cultures, but we are ultimately, we are rooted in the city, and that's so much a part of our identity, is being part of the city of Chicago. Up until a few years ago, we were actually the second largest landowner in the city of Chicago, only to the city of Chicago. We have a lot of land in the city itself because it's, we're rooted here. We've been here for over 130 years, and what that does and what that gives us is just an incredible ability to know and love our city. One aspect of kind of talking about where we are again is something that we have called PCM. Now we have, and every school has these, we shorten things, to just the letters and abbreviate them to move quicker, but PCM stands for Practical Christian Ministry. This is a program that we have at Moody as a way to kind of make the knowledge that we are getting and the things that we're learning, make them very hands-on. This is the most hands-on part of our education. So every undergraduate student at Chicago, at the Chicago campus, is required to serve in a ministry once per week during the school year. And, a lot of people will say, well, Chris, where do I get the time for that? How am I going to do that while I'm studying, while I'm working, doing all these things? And it is something that that can feel like, another thing that you have to do. But what is so unique about it is Moody has been so rooted in the city of Chicago that we have over 300 different ministries that we partner with. So every single week, all 1,600 of our undergrad Chicago students are sent out into the city of Chicago, serving in over 300 practical Christian ministries. And this ranges from everything from teaching English in Chinatown to children of refugees, to helping serve meals at soup kitchens down the street, to serving in prison ministries in Cook County Correctional, to doing sports ministries where you're helping put on games for high school students in the Chicago area, or working with a crisis pregnancy counseling ministry. There's so many different options. Part of a few reasons just why we have PCM and why, this isn't just like an additional thing that we require our students to do is, first of all, we do prioritize Bible and theology training so much. And that's, that's amazing. And learning about that stuff is incredible and so valuable. But ultimately, if it's all in our heads, there really isn't that much value, right? Like knowledge and knowledge of the Bible and theology is only valuable when we really get it out and put it, from our head to our hands, really, and we start working with and caring for and loving our neighbor. Another reason is we don't want to just let that grow stale there. We're not just sending students out on their own randomly to random places all throughout the city. We send them in groups. We help them to be acclimated to the city, so they know where they're going and they know what they're doing. And, I think, another reason we do it is we have a lot of students that will come in, and this was very much myself when I started in my time at Moody, where we have an idea of like a ministry that we want to be involved in, or we think like, I want to do this kind of ministry. I'm really excited for this, or, I feel really called to this, but have never really gotten the chance to do it, to experience it, to not only do the good and the fun things of it, but like experience the hard weeks. I had a personal experience with this where I thought when I came in that I was like, I think I would be excellent for children's ministry. I think I would be a great, I love hanging out with kids. Kids are amazing. They're so much fun. They have so much energy, and I love being able to match that. That's amazing. And I was like, sweet, sign me up. I want my PCM to be, with kids ministry. So I went to an after school program in Logan Square, Chicago, where I was working with 3rd through 5th graders. And I had never experienced that before, but I did it for an entire year, every single week. And what I found, I was like, I thought I was good. I thought I was amazing and it would be amazing at children's ministry. And after doing it for doing it for a year, I was like, wow, I am not gifted in this area. I am not nearly as patient as I gave myself credit for. I thought I was much more creative. I thought I had way more energy than I do. And this is not the ministry that I think God is calling me to pursue in my life. But I did it, and I stayed faithful, and I was required to go every single week. So I did, and I built relationships with these kids, and I saw incredible growth and just amazing things happen in these kids' lives that I never would have gotten to see because I probably never would have tried it, had I not been required to. Another incredible aspect of PCM is basically, in a lot of regards, PCM is kind of like doing a mini internship your entire time at Moody, which again is something a lot of schools will require. It's like a lot of schools will have, hey, let's have you do a certain number of service hours before you graduate, or maybe do one internship here, in your major before you graduate. But Moody's requirement for PCM is just incredible. Getting to serve with a ministry for an entire year looks incredible on a resume. Gives you an ability to say, yeah, to know a ministry, to be known by a ministry too. I have a lot of friends that, started their freshman year in a PCM, loved the ministry that they were doing so much that they stayed all 4 years in that PCM. And then when they graduated, their full-time job turned into what their PCM was, because they were gaining experience, they were networking, getting to know people, finding out, hey, what are my gifts? What am I good at? What am I learning in the classroom? How am I, I'm taking this class called Studying and Teaching the Bible. But and I have that on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but my PCM on Fridays, I'm studying and teaching the Bible to 3rd graders, getting to practice and put into practice those things that otherwise would just stay in their head. And then eventually, they find that this is vocationally what I want to do. And so they graduate and they get to do their full-time job at a place that they were volunteering at. It's just an absolutely incredible opportunity, again, not only just to minister and to serve and to get, to understand your own giftings, but also for career advancement. I ended up getting to serve with a ton of different ministries. I did everything from, an after-school program to, I was a pastoral intern at my church. I was able to, I did a ministry where I would do stand-up comedy in the city, and talk to other comedians there. I've done so many different and incredible aspects, and really learned a lot about myself, not only just about like how to minister, but also what I was good at, what I wasn't good at, what I wanted to do, what I didn't want to do. So PCM, I could talk endlessly about it. I could talk to you about all the experiences I had in, doing Young Life and doing after school programs, in serving in an on-campus ministry position. There are so many opportunities, but I just think it's an incredible opportunity to be in a place that prioritizes this ministry so much. So that's a little bit about PCM. I'll stop talking about that. I would love to answer questions if you have more about just my experience or just people's experience in general. I want to talk a little bit about the application process, because it is a little bit different. We don't have a common app. We have our own special, unique online application. So a couple things to know. So the application deadlines for the fall semester. So if you are a senior in high school right now and you're saying, Chris, I want to come to school, I want to come to Moody in the fall of 2021. You have 2 deadlines that are going to be really important. So write these down, pause the video, do whatever you got to do. Tattoo it on your arm. Kidding, please don't do that. So the first deadline is the early application deadline. That is December 1st. December 1st is the early application deadline. And what's really important about that deadline is that if you get all of your stuff done before that deadline, you can have an answer if you're accepted for fall of 2021, you can have that answer in January of 2021. And I cannot tell you how highly I suggest this. Please, please, please get your application in early. Just know where you're able to go. If you can get it done before the December 1st deadline, you're going to be set up to make incredible, good decision about where you can go, and it will serve you in the long run. The second deadline to know about is the March 1st application deadline. So March 1st is the final application deadline. And again, you'll get a decision probably, late March, mid-April, and that's okay too. Like, you're getting a decision mid-March or late March, mid-April for August. So it gives you a little bit less time. That's why I say if you can do the early application, if you're hearing this live, I don't know if anyone's listening live, but if you're hearing this live or hearing this before December 1st, please, please, please try December 1st. It's much easier, for you to be able to make an informed decision and really compare and contrast some of the things that you, are looking at. So just that's the application deadlines. That's the really important stuff. We do take spring students. Their application deadline is October 1st. So if you're looking to transfer in the spring, October 1st is your deadline. October 1st is the deadline. You would come in January on campus. Just keep that in mind. Again, it's getting pretty quick. This is, getting recorded mid-September. So it's getting pretty quick up to that deadline, but just keep that in mind as well. So now, I want to talk a little bit about kind of the things we need to complete your application. So the academic side of things, we will need all official transcripts that you have. So if you just went to high school, we'll need your high school transcript. But if you have attended any colleges, we're going to need those transcripts too. So even if you just took one class somewhere, if you, were in community college for one semester, we need all those transcripts. So all of your transcripts can be sent officially to apply@moody.edu. That's apply, APPLY, @moody.edu. And you can just have the school send them in. That's the easiest way. If they can send a PDF to that email, that's the easiest way. If not, you can mail them in. They have to be sealed. If you open them, you could potentially tamper with them and they become unofficial then, and we can't accept them. So you definitely need that. in. The second thing on the academic side, so, I will say too, we have a minimum of a 2.0 GPA. So just a minimum, there's no requirements because you are getting all tuition covered. If you get accepted, we don't really have tiers of different scholarship rankings. It's just a 2.0 that you need to get in. ACT or SAT scores were, every year up to this, were required that you took it. Because of COVID and because so many have been canceled, we have waived all all ACT, SAT requirements for this coming fall, for fall 2021 and for spring 2021. We don't have any requirements. It's completely waived. So all we need from the academic side of your application is your transcripts. We'll take your transcripts and weigh your application, based on that score. So that will make up about 25% of your application. 25% is a pretty good chunk. So you definitely want to make sure that you're getting good grades. It's not nothing, but it's only 25%. The next 25% are going to be your references. So we require 2 references that we have. We have a form that you'll provide the email of the reference that you want us to send it to, and we'll send the form out. The pastoral reference is 1. This must be completed by, someone in leadership at your church, whether they are your small group leader, your youth pastor, an executive pastor, a deacon, an elder, some formal position in church leadership is one form. And then a Christian character reference. That can be, anybody that's not related to you, known you for over a year, that's a Christian and a believer and can speak into your life, can speak, into your spiritual life. So those 2 references will make up another 25% of your admissions evaluation. So those are 2 really, really important things that you want to make sure. You want to make sure you get your transcripts in and your references. The final portion, the final 50% of your application and how it will be weighted are 2 essays that you'll write. In these 2 essays, they're weighted really heavily in the application because they really matter to us. So the first essay is basically about ministry that you've been involved in and about your testimony a little bit. So we want to hear about, how you came to faith, different, your experience with God, and different things like that. But we also want to know what ministry you've been involved in. do you volunteer at your youth group? Do you help out at a food pantry? Have you gone on missions trips? These are the kinds of things that we want to hear about. We want to hear about your heart and just the stuff that you've done, different things like that. Have you been involved in leadership, in leading small groups or doing different things like that? And that's the first essay. The second essay is your ministry plan, where you feel God is calling you. And this isn't something that, we're going to hold up to you at the end when you graduate and be like, how close are you to this at all? What this helps us as an admissions staff do is just really measure, what is this person looking to do? We want to get to know you. Do you have like a certain country that God has placed on your heart that you're like, I want to study to be a missionary and I want to go to Rwanda? That is just what God has placed on my heart. We want to know about that. We want to hear about these things. Where has God called you specifically so that we can, we can see, hey, is Moody going to help? Is Moody going to help you along that route? Is Moody going to push you towards, towards a future in the ministry you feel God has called you to? These are the kinds of things that we want to hear about. We also have a third essay that's optional. I don't know how many people are, out there in wanting to just like write extra essays, but if you feel like you can't contain all of the words, in those first two essays, they have a 700-word maximum. You have a optional third essay that you can expound a little bit. So those are the big parts of your application. We've got your academics, your references, and your essays. That on top of a $50 application fee will take care of your overall application. And that's just a little bit about Moody. I know we're wrapping up. I've got about 3 minutes left. I don't see any questions coming in at this point. But I would just like to say that, Moody obviously, is not the perfect fit for every student. If you want to study engineering, unfortunately, we're a Bible college, we don't really have that for you. But I can honestly and genuinely say that if you want to serve God with your vocation and you want to go out and make disciples for Christ, that there's no better place to learn to do that than in Moody's campus in Chicago. There's just so many opportunities to learn how to better love your neighbor, care for your brother in Christ, and ultimately just spread the gospel and spread his kingdom. So thank you so much. If you're joining us live, thank you so much for joining us live. And if you're just listening to this recording, thank you so much for listening this far in and not getting bored of me talking. We really appreciate you, and I'd love to connect. Like I said, I'm the Ohio counselor. My information should be attached. I'd love to connect with you. Love to talk to you about just different things, regarding Moody, and maybe finding what could be a great ministry fit for you. With all that said, I think that's all I've got. So thank you so much, and God bless.
Thank you so much, Chris. That was wonderful, wonderful information. We did have one live viewer, so if you have questions, go ahead and put those in. If not, I'm sure that Chris would be happy to work with you afterwards. Chris, do you want to give your email address?
Yes, that is an excellent idea. I'm going to go ahead and put it, actually I can't put it in the chat, but I will just say it outright. So it is COSANTOWSKI@moody.edu. I'll say that again because we've got the one live viewer, which is exciting. We love that. It is C, and then my last name is OSANTOWSKI@moody.edu.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Chris. And your name is actually on the bottom of your screen, so that probably helps too.
Perfect. Yes, it's just it looks like somebody slapped a keyboard. That's my last name. So.
So Chris, you can already tell Chris is so happy to work with you if you have questions. So please reach out to him. When you close out of this session, you're going to have a brief 4-question survey pop up. Please take a moment and fill that out for us. If you are interested in signing up for more sessions, go to www.oacac.org and look around. This is only the second day of a long virtual college exploration with so many awesome options. So take a look, and the recording will be available in about a week at the same website. So thank you so much. All right, so our attendee left,
All right.
but I'm not seeing end webinar anywhere. So
Oh, all right.
it must have ended because it's quarter till. So we have to get off so the next people can get on. But that was awesome. So
Sounds
much
good.
energy, very easy to follow. Way to go. So
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that feedback because I was like coming into today, I was like, I don't know if anybody's signed up. My throat hurts just from talking so much. So that's really good to know. Thank you.
oh my goodness, no, your enthusiasm is what admissions counselors need to have to portray that. And you're like, it was awesome. I took notes on for doing mine in November. So
Oh, thank you so much, Melissa. It was so great to meet you. Seriously.
You too.
Yeah.
Safe travels back to Chicago.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I will. And I'm hearing, did you actually hear any of the kiddos upstairs? Because they came down. Perfect. Okay, because I was definitely hearing them. I was like, oh, shoot. But thank you so much.
Wonderful. Yep. Have a great rest of your fall.
Yeah, we'll see you.
Bye.